have the same position players sit together on the plane. Just spread everybody out in different position groups, get more buses. Just the contact tracing stuff is coming back so we can be a little more efficient in case one guy were to test positive and it didn't knock out an entire room, you know. So things like that. You know, it's unusual not to eat meals together and things like that, but you know, we got used to it. We'll get used to it quick.
And can you give us like any kind of injury? Does it look like Justin Watson's the only guy that's probably going to be out? Or
yeah, Justin is out for the ball game. Everybody else is ready to roll.
Thanks.
All right, next is going to be Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, you were down to receiver last week, but with Watson out, was just curious whether the progress you've seen from Tyler Johnson might be enough where he's able to dress and help you out and make his debut on Sunday.
Yeah, we're making those decisions now. You know, what biggest roles are special teams because Justin's such a huge role there. And then receiver-wise, it could be Mickens, Grayson. Tyler has had a good week of practice. We'll see where it goes.
Okay. Thanks, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next is Casey Hudson. If anyone has questions, please raise your hand.
Hey, Coach. I was just wondering, you know, what are the key progressions that you've seen on your offense from week 1 to week 3 heading into Denver?
I think everybody's just getting a little more continuity. You know, Mike didn't. It was one of those things, you know, when we went back and scrimmaged at the stadium and practiced in the stadium, we made sure that we did all those things and found out what was the problems. Our coaches are doing a great job, I think, of staying with the protocols. I tried to pull mine down to holler at a ref one time, and I put it back on. Yeah, I think, you know, it's for a reason, and it's for our health. So let's make sure we're doing it.
And also, Shaq Barrett, I know you talked about him. We've asked about him a little bit this week, but we're talking to him, I think yesterday, he had said about, you know, he feels like he's working too much on his go-to moves, not necessarily setting up guys quite as much as he used to. You know, how much a part of like a pass rusher's success has to do with kind of, you know, keeping that other guy across the line from him off balance or guessing, I guess.
No, totally. Once a tackle kind of knows what you're going to do, he's ready. Now, Shaq's got a good toolbox, and you know, I could see it coming more quicker and quicker. He's getting there, and they'll come. The sacks will come.
Thank you.
All right, next is going to be James Palmer.
Hey, Bruce, we talked to Mike Evans a little bit about how he works with Tom, and he's such a feel receiver, and we know that Tom is really into precision guys exactly where they're at. How in your past do you see that being a relationship that develops with a guy that is a feel receiver and now watching him work with Tom?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, having missed that 8 to 10 days with the hamstring really set that part back. And I see it starting to blossom again. They had a hell of a camp together. And then, you know, Mike wanted to play in that ball game in New Orleans, and we let him play. But now you see it in practice, the communication. Hey, where are you going to go on this one? What are you expecting? I might put the ball here, and it's great. It's great. That's when you know they're really clicking.
Have you gone against a team? I mean, obviously you've been around forever, but like that has so many weapons on the offensive side of the ball that are so young. With, you know, you haven't a lot of tape on Hamler or Judy or just the guys that'll be getting the ball. Just not a lot of tape to look at and what they've done.
Yeah, I mean, you go back, you graded them in the draft. You know what they're capable of, and tremendous speed by both those guys. And you know, Hamler's going down the field, and Judy's a good route runner. So, and you put Fant in there. It's a heck of a combination. So, yeah, that'll be a heck of a test for our guys.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, next is going to be Gina Lane.
Hey, Coach, earlier this week, when you were asked about Rob Gronkowski, you had said, among other things, that you don't see him running 40 yards, you know, past anybody anymore. What did you mean by that? Was that more so he needs to get in better shape? Is that just understanding age-related decline, having realistic expectations for age? Being away from football for a year? What did you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it never was his forte. But if you're going to go up there and bump and run him, that's a different story. But you know, to just think he's going to run past a corner who runs 4.4. He's never done that anyway. So it's not like it's something new. But he can still go down the field, stretch the field. You know, we had good times on him in practices, and so yeah, he can stretch the field. It's just he's not going to line up wide and run 40-yard balls.
Is his greatest contribution, aside from being a run blocker, which he's done that really well, is it really for you guys going to be as a red zone target, or are you still kind of figuring that out?
Just game to game. I mean, we came in here with no expectations, and just hey, whatever happens, happens. Just you play tight end, and we'll see.
Okay, next can be Steve Isbitz.
Coach, behind the scenes, are you getting any pressure from LaShawn McCoy to get a few carries?
No. Shady knows his role. He's very happy with his role.
And how has Keyshawn Vaughn been practicing on the offensive side of the ball?
Keyshawn's getting better and better. He's got some great veterans to learn from. And like I told him the other day, your turn's coming. You just don't know when, so be ready.
We're going to have a couple more. Next is John Ledyard, followed by Greg Allman.
Bruce, curious about O.J. Howard. I know it's only been 2 games, but through the first 2 games, he's kind of on pace to play considerably less snaps than he did all of last year. Is that something you'd like to increase his usage? Is there ways that you can get him more involved, maybe move him around more? Has that been part of your thought process game planning for this week?
No, I like where his snaps are. You know, it's September. It's a long season. So, you don't need to be out there 70, 75 plays. I mean, it's a good room. We've got to keep guys fresh, and each guy's got a role. So, yeah, I'm happy with where they're at.
I know he had a strong camp, and you were kind of talking him up a lot coming out of camp, and it seemed like most of the teammates were too. Just curious, when the situation like last week where you're down a wide receiver like Chris Godwin, and this week if you're down Justin Watson, is he able to do some wide receiver like things and potentially step into maybe like a wide receiver like role for you guys in situations like that?
No. I mean, we got a good wide receiver room. He can split out and run routes, but he's not a wide receiver. But he can do some of those things with the right mismatch. But you don't want him out there going against other teams' top corners as a wide receiver.
All right, our last one's going to come from Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, I want to ask you, with any change at quarterback, obviously the relationship with the center and the quarterback's a big part of it. I just want to ask you how you've seen Ryan Jensen adjust and how Brady's worked with him and how Jensen's been in the middle of that line.
Oh, Ryan's been really, really solid. And, he's learning to play with a couple of towels in his pants. But other than that, it's been a really good combination. And, they communicate so well on declaring the defenses and getting all the protection set and all those things.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Travel safe.
Thanks, Patrick.